I've had my debut.
We're live. All right.
Okay.
How does that look? It looks good. Hello, everyone. Chef Oz over here. Jane O'Reilly from TERRE ROUGE winery in California. Where exactly in California?
It's in the Sierra foothills, east of Sacramento, about an hour up in the mountains. So,
Right.
and we have two labels. TERRE ROUGE wines are all the Rhône varietals. Easton, my husband Bill Easton is a winemaker. His last name goes on the things that are not Rhône varietals. They're
Nice.
old wines in particular.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
A couple of those. So.
Well, welcome to our tasting here at Cueva Bar. And Tori decided to sit down this one. She's sitting there. I do need to get a spitter. Is that what's the proper name of it?
Oh, spit bucket.
A spit bucket or something.
Dump bucket.
I don't have a dump bucket, so I'm gonna get a glass.
Dump bucket's a little nicer.
Well,
Dump glass.
dump glass. There you go. I call it spitter. I'm sorry. I'm not refined when it comes to the world of wine. So we'll be tasting some delicious wines, and Jane is going to explain to us. We're going to taste, write your questions down either now or later. We'll get back to the answers. Other than that, welcome to Wine Tasting at Cueva Bar. And I'm going to get, when you start, I'm going to get a dump bucket.
Okay.
Are
you tasting yours? Oh, yeah. I'll start off Thursday. Thank you. Process. Okay, we're going to start with a nice chilled Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
So this is on the Easton side of the label because this is not a Rhône varietal. The Rhône varietals are whites or Viognier, Roussanne. We don't have those with us today. Syrah, Grenache, Mourvèdre.
Awesome.
So this is Sauvignon Blanc from vineyard 2,500 foot elevation near Auburn, which is for people, it's you're going from Sacramento to the North Shore of Lake Tahoe, you're going to go right through Auburn. So it's up in the mountains.
Oh, wow.
Cooler site. It's called Monarch Mine is the vineyard. It's an old mine site. We have a lot of mines in the Sierra foothills because we had a big gold rush back in the mid-1800s.
Yes.
Okay, so Sauvignon Blanc. There's different styles of Sauvignon Blanc. This is planted to two different clones of Sauvignon Blanc. One is the Bordeaux clone and one is the Loire clone. So this is fermented in stainless steel, but then it's finished in some totally neutral French oak to kind of round out the finish, give you a really nice mouthfeel towards the end.
Wow.
So it starts off kind of brisk and it's got some nice kind of citrus zest and minerality, and then it kind of finishes nice and a little bit creamy.
I love it. Un momento. And as usually, we're running business as usual, so we got some fish coming in. Can you, ¿lo puedes pasar hasta allá atrás en el refri, por favor?
Yes, sir. We've got yellowtail for you today.
Gracias. We got some yellowtail coming in.
All right. Good. What are you going to do with the yellowtail?
I'm going to stuff chili, poblano peppers. So like chile relleno.
Nice.
Stuff with the yellowtail and covered with the yellow mole.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, that's one. And then we're going to do some fish tacos too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I make a red mole every Thanksgiving.
Nice. Oh.
For our turkey that we do on the Weber.
Very proper.
And I make the mole, and my family will not, they can't survive without the mole. You are making the mole, yes? Yes. Okay. No gravy at our house.
Awesome. I'm gonna try that now.
It's good.
Sounds baby.
It's really good.
It's really good Sauvignon Blanc.
Thank you. Yes.
There's something not all Sauvignon Blancs taste the same, but this one is very unique.
It tastes like Sauvignon Blanc. It's not trying to be Chardonnay. It's not oaked up or anything, and it's not like New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It's kind of more grassy or appley. It's not like that. This definitely has a sense of where it comes from, the minerality from the soil in particular. All of our soils in the Sierra foothills are decomposed granite and volcanic soils because we're the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, and that's all the ground down rock that comes into our soils.
So I've never had wine from.
Stop a second.
All right. No worries.
Okay. Hang on a second.
So how cool is that? Jane is also a chef, and she wears another hats at the winery.
I do.
And for me to hear that she makes a red mole is pretty cool. That's awesome.
And of course, I'm riding the Southwest bus tomorrow, and I have to check in like 2 minutes.
Oh, please do
I'm
it.
going to be in the C group.
No,
I'm going to pour you a wine.
We'll let Jane check in into the train.
So here is our rosé. So this is Van Gris de Amador. This is a good case. So we've made rosé since 1991. We started making wines in the late 80s. So in 1991, we started making rosé. So we do what's called a saignée. We pull juice off of the Grenache and the Mourvèdre to make the wine, rather than pressing juice off of it. We pull juice off of Grenache and Mourvèdre that's fermenting for the red wines. You pull juice off of it to make the rosé, and you also are improving the Grenache and the Mourvèdre at the same time because it's going to have more skin contact, less juice. Then it's fermented in oak. We use all French oak barrels in our white wines, and rosé it's all neutral French oak. So there's not a lot of oak flavoring. Fermented, and it sits on the lees, so it's a more complex type of rosé than one that's made in stainless steel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to check in here, and we'll be done with mine. Come on. Well, let me check in.
So this is Rhône style. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Rhône style. Hang on just a second. I'm going to check in. I'm going to be mixed up. There we go. All right, we're good. So it's what I love about this rosé is that that it's a rosé that you can drink all year round. And we don't just drink this in the summer. We drink this all throughout the fall, through the holidays, while we're cooking. That's what I have in my glass, is a glass of rosé.
Mm.
So it's something that, to me, is a little bit more interesting than the type of rosés that we tend to drink in the summer, which are paler and more, crisper.
Yeah. This definitely has more color than
Yeah.
your typical lighter.
Well, in the
Wrinkle,
south
yeah.
of France, in Tavel, that's what this is patterned after. So there are, everyone's familiar now with Provence rosés, which are very pale. But
Yeah.
Tavel, which is near Avignon, right in the heart of the southern Rhône area, was always made even darker than this.
Okay. Oh wow. Yeah.
And Spain, they make a lot of dark rosés. and stuff.
Yeah. South American countries make darker rosés.
Mhm.
There you go.
Delicious.
Always learning something new.
Delicious. Okay, so we have a new wine for us. This is called Zimster. So we make a lot of Zinfandel under the Easton label from very old vines. And then we have a younger vineyard. This is our younger vineyard, which we farm organically. This is our own vineyard. So young, young is 20 years old. It's not that young.
Yeah.
But old vines, we have 40, 60, 80-year-old vines that go into the second zin that you're going to taste. So this is made like a Nouveau style. So this is a fresh, was from it's 2018. It is part carbonic maceration. So this is made like, we haven't had this before.
No.
Yeah, okay, so this is the Zinster. This is a new wine for us.
Zinster.
Zinster. Because
Zinster,
Zinster, that's the license plate that's on my husband's truck.
That's awesome.
And it's actually, this is the grill of the 49 Chevy, but it's actually, the Chevy isn't drivable right now, so this license plate is actually on his Ford truck.
All right.
It's a modern truck.
Is the truck visible when you go to the vineyard? It's like
The old truck?
yes, yeah.
Yes, it's weighted. We have to sell a lot of this wine in order to fix up the old truck.
That's-
So help us. We should start a campaign. to
There
get
you
that
go.
one. So this is meant to be drunk a little bit chilled.
Okay.
So this is a red wine that you can drink when it's warm out. It's really juicy, really fresh. It's never seen in oak barrel. It's 1852 is when that's why it's called Lot 1852 in the book. 1852 is when Zinfandel arrived in California, and back then they made wine to drink. They made it to have at the table with a meal. So they never put it in an oak barrel or maybe a big redwood tank or something.
Mm.
So it was just something that when it was finished, it was put in the bottle and we had it with dinner. It's very fresh and lively and kind of juicy.
Very juicy.
Yeah.
I agree. It's very juicy. Zinfandel,
Juicy.
right?
Yes, Zinfandel.
Zinfandel, no oak.
No oak.
Help Jane fix the truck.
Yes. Okay, so now you're going to taste. I think maybe you've tasted this before.
Yeah.
So we make 5 different zins. This is our zin that is a blend of different vineyard sites. 40, 60, 80-year-old vines. Stays in barrel for a year. French oak. We don't use American oak in the wine, only French oak. And this is, then it's bottle aged before we release it. So this was bottled in 16, so it's been in the bottle for 3 years now.
Okay.
We're bottling the 18th this week, today actually. So that will be released for a few years. So what's great about this wine, and
It's very spicy.
it's got a lot of spice.
Yeah.
This is more, serious. I mean, the Zimster is just like a little plaything. This is more serious, but still very approachable when it's younger. People drink this by the glass all across the country. Up in Quebec, they're huge fans of this wine. So our wine all over the Canadian provinces. And in December, it was put on the Wine Spectator Top 100 list, number 45.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually the top 50.
Congratulations.
And we just released it a couple months ago. So now people can enjoy it. 92 points. Always gets 90 points or more, and always best value because it's a very reasonably priced wine. Yeah, it's delicious.
Mm.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that the vineyards we have to work with are old. They're all dry farm, beautiful fruit that Bill gets to work with, and he's a very finesse winemaker. He makes a very elegant style. A lot of people think Zinfandel is all just sweet and overripe and chunky, and you can't really have it with food. This is not that way. This is made just like all the rest of our wines, more European in style, very balanced.
It is.
It can work with a whole variety of foods.
I love it. Yeah, it's like the spices on the nose. I would say medium body, right? It's the medium body wine.
Yep.
The oak, that subtle touch of oak is really amazing.
It's balanced though, so it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
You'll see that with all of our wines.
Yeah. It's not overwhelming. It's just kind of like, hey, I'm here.
There's some new French oak, but most of it is what we call neutral. It's several years old, so it imparts less oak flavor.
Okay.
You don't want a ton of oak on it, but some is kind of nice.
Yeah, and I can taste the vine. I don't know if that's accurate, but because I guess they're all vines.
Yeah, they are.
The fruit is really
Right.
kind of representing the vine, and this is really earthy.
And again, these are mountain vineyards, so that's where you get the spice from because you're getting upwards a little bit cooler. In the fall, we have a huge differential in temperature between day and night, 30 degrees. So it can be like in the 80s during the day, and it'll be 50s or even 40s during harvest. So
It's so cool to compare the Zinster's in.
Yeah.
Having this and just seeing two different ways it's made.
Totally
it's
different.
really cool.
yeah, totally different. So
Now, do you say these are staked or you get the grapes from your vine?
some of it are our vines, this vineyard, some of them, and then we work with the same vineyards every single year.
Oh, okay.
And have for 20 years.
Other
20
farms,
plus
yeah.
years. So some of our, we bottle a couple Zins separately, and they're like our single vineyard ones, more expensive, just they express themselves just by themselves. The rest goes into the blended wine. So there's grapes go into here that are 80 years old.
Okay.
From our old.
Oh,
from our
wow.
old vineyard. We
Yeah.
also bottle that one separately, and then we make a blend. So
Yeah, that's really good. It's really good wine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move to the Terre Rouge side.
Terre
So
Rouge.
Terre Rouge, the reason we got in, Bill was in the wine business before we started a winery. We had a wine shop in Berkeley, and he for 20 years, and he sold wines from all over the world, a lot of Burgundy. He really loved the Rhône, and he thought the Syrah foothills was going to be a place to do Rhône varietals. So we had a Syrah vineyard that was already up there. Some friends had. We planted a lot. We had a lot of people plant for us. So since the late 80s, we have a lot of really nice vineyards to work with. Bill's one of the original Rhône Rangers. It's a group of people in California that pioneered the Rhône varieties. And he was the pioneer for our area. He got the Lifetime Achievement Award a couple of years ago from the Rhône Rangers.
All right.
He's known for his work with the Rhône.
So we're tasting amazing wines.
We are going to taste 2 Syrahs today and a blend of Syrah Mourvèdre.
Yeah. If you're not jealous, you should be feeling jealous that you're not here right now.
And actually, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to taste the Syrahs together. We're going to start with the tête-à-tête. Let's switch it here.
All right.
So tête-à-tête is the blend. It's like we make 2 blends. This is like a little Côte de Rhône, if you know what a Côte de Rhône is in the south of France. They blend Rhône varieties together to make a fabulous wine, great little bistro wine. Does everybody know what a tête-à-tête is?
I don't.
Tête-à-tête is an French expression for what these people are doing. We're going to lean into each other with a glass of wine, and we're going to be having a great conversation. Our heads are coming together as we're talking and getting excited, and that's a tête-à-tête.
That's it.
Means head-to-head.
Okay.
I didn't know.
That's it.
Tête-à-tête,
I love it.
head-to-head, but it's like not butting heads. It's like getting your heads together and
Yeah.
conversing and
Was
getting
it?
excited about wine and food.
A lot of
or romance.
Romans, yeah. A lot of I've seen a few like reviews, right, that say, well, you know, I came to Cueva Bar, and even though we were across the table when we first got in, by the middle of the night we were like tete-a-tete.
Like a tete-a-tete.
Tete-a-tete. So Cueva Bar creates a lot of tete-a-tete.
That's correct. That's a good place. So this is a good place for this bistro wine.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So this has got great spice on the nose. So the three components: Mourvèdre, which provides kind of a gamey smokiness to the blend; Grenache, which is like beautiful, lush fruit; and Syrah, which is kind of the backbone of the wine. And this is a new vintage, the 13 we just released, and I should explain why we hold our wines back. In the wine business, the French call it élevage. It means that you raise the baby wine in the bottle. So we lay them down. So this was bottled in 2015. It's been in the bottle for 4 years.
Wow.
We do that with all of our wines. Bill doesn't release them, and so he thinks they're just ready to drink or starting to be ready to drink.
Wow.
Part of that is because we have so much structure in our wines. These cool vineyard sites, they're complex. They're kind of closed in when they're first in the bottle. And it would be a crime to drink them when they're dead.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And these can benefit from even a little bit more time, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, they say those wines continue to age.
Nice.
Until
I love it.
long time. But this is, I had this out yesterday when I was doing sales calls.
Okay.
I was just loving it.
So it's a Harvest 2013.
Yes.
You bottled it
in
in 2015.
Spring of 15.
And it's been sitting there just waiting to be released.
That's correct.
I love it.
It's good. Nice finish. Smells great. I guess you can. Smells really good.
Mm-hmm.
We make another blend that's predominantly Grenache, that is held back even longer. That's a little more elegant, all equally delicious. Just a different thing. We have big fans of the tete-a-tete. I think it's a great one. It goes with a lot of different foods, a lot of spices.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to taste two of our Syrahs. The first one we're going to taste is a blend of vineyard sites. Our lowest elevation about 60% and 40% our highest elevation. We have Syrah all the way up to 3,200 feet. So that's really high and cooler, and you get more spice, you get more longer hang time. Everyone know what hang time is. So the longer grapes are out there on the vines, the more flavors and complexity you get.
Okay.
So if you're in a really warm area, say like Lodi or somewhere which is more down on the valley floor in California, your time on the vine is shorter because it gets too warm and grapes get ripe faster.
Yeah.
So when you're up in the mountains, you get longer time, and especially in the fall when we have these nice warm days and then it cools off at night, the sugars just keep rising just a little bit each day, and every day that the grapes are out there, you're getting more complexity in the grapes. So it really helps to have the hang time. That's what they call it. Hang time. Needs more hang time.
Yeah.
That's what the winemaker goes out and starts tasting the fruit. He goes, okay, the sugars are right, the acid needs to come up a little bit, but it also needs a little more hang time because it's going to get even better.
I love it. Do you know basketball at all?
Basketball?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah, that's hang. Yeah.
hang time. Yeah. Man, like Jordan. Jordan has some hang time, but he's fine.
So this is called the Côte de l'Ouest, which means the western slopes of the Sierra. That's where we are. We're on the slopes of the west, and hills of the west. Slopes, hills.
Oh,
It's fabulous. This is also a new vintage. This is A14, just released. And this has, people always say that this wine over delivers for the price, because part of that is because our vineyards have gotten older and we have like 7 different Syrah vineyards that Bill can play with this wine. And he chooses lots that are a little bit more forward because this is going to be drunk sooner than our single vineyards, which are 2012. So there has to be a wine that's going to be a little bit more precocious, a little bit more forward, and something you're going to have in a place like Puebla.
There you go.
To have a glass of Syrah. And Syrah, which with a lot of, I think we have a lot of savory in our wines, particularly in Syrah. So that means it works with things like mole and Moroccan spices and all that. So I like olives, anything with olives, zuck, lamb, pork. It's
I like the pennies.
mhm. Yes. Now I'm going to taste the single vineyard, and this is from the DTR Ranch. Makes several single vineyard straws. This is our home vineyard. It's farmed organically. It's a labor of love because it takes a lot of time to farm organically. A lot of pastures with tractor mowing. We're getting a new plow this week. A new special plow that will help us because we don't use any, you can't use any weed killer. We don't use any pesticides. So you've got weeds that grow up this high in the vines, in the rows. So we have to use a lot of cultivators.
Yeah.
We do cover crop and then we mow every other row so we keep the vineyard really healthy. And this is not the highest elevation Syrah site. It's at 2,000 feet, but it's the coolest. It's super cool. And it comes in, we don't pick this till the end of October. Sometimes the beginning of November.
Oh wow, that's long.
And we have to prune, we have to wait to prune until April because if we prune earlier, it's going to get frosted on the front end. So we postpone pruning so that when it frosts in May, like it often does, it won't be pushing buds yet.
So it took you maybe a few years to figure out
Yes. Because when you walk out in the morning after frost and the whole back field,
oh man.
you see, and like 2 days later, it's brown, and you go, and it doesn't recover from that. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. A lot of love into this wine, people.
This wine has huge structure, and this is just a baby. 2012, and it's just a baby. It was put in the bottle 5 years ago.
2012, and you call it a baby, yeah?
It's a baby.
Yeah.
It's a baby. This wine will age extremely long. It's a lot like in the northern Rhône, like a Côte Rôtie or a Grenache. It's really. Sorry, I didn't pour you any. Did you taste the Côte Rôtie?
I did not.
You want to taste that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you get the
I didn't want to interrupt you. I had the test it out 2 weeks ago.
Okay, good. So
This
this is
is
the
so
new
good.
vintage of the Côte, which I think is really delicious.
Very food forward.
Well, but there's also just a lot of tannin.
Yes,
into
yes.
This wine.
It's
It's
very-
since Tuesday.
It's very bright in the front end of the palate. Very bright, and then comes all the structure that we're talking about.
That is tasty. Tasty. You like a big wine that's very smooth, very rich.
Mhm.
This is the
My dad will love this. Yes, it's really good. I concur. Nice. Yeah, I can see what you say it's a baby.
It's a baby. Just a little.
Wow.
And this is only part of what we make. So we make 30 different wines. And you can't get them all.
Yeah, of course. No,
Some
this
of
is-
them are just for at the winery. We make a couple of dessert wines. We make other white wines. We make Viognier, we make Roussanne. We make a little bit of Barbera. Barbera has been grown in the Syrah foothills for about 50 years.
Okay.
Does really well up there. Just make good Barbera. It's fun.
So to our San Diego friends, let's
Yes.
start with San Diego. What is the easiest way to get from here to there? On a train?
No, fly to Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
Fly to Sacramento Airport, get a car, more an hour from the airport. It's
About an
really
hour?
easy.
Oh,
So if you fly to Sacramento and you're going to wine country, you can go to Napa, which is an hour. Very crowded, very expensive.
Yes.
And then you can go the other direction and come up where we are, where there's, 40, 50 wineries right in our neighborhood. Beautiful countryside. It's much more laid back, less expensive, more family-owned wineries, great picnic areas. You can go on your way up to Lake Tahoe, make a whole trip of it. We're like an hour and a half from Lake Tahoe. Beautiful place.
Okay.
Customers have never
I
been
like
there, they
it.
should go. So
I like the way it sounds.
yeah, it's good.
So what is I'm trying to be
Do you have questions?
yeah, your denomination. So it's not Napa, it's not all that. So what
Okay,
is your
so appellation.
appellation?
Okay, so Amador County is a county appellation,
Uh-huh.
but a lot of our wines say Sierra foothills, which is a larger geographical appellation.
Okay.
That's because all of our fruit isn't in Amador County. Some of it's in El Dorado County or Calaveras County. So it's all along the spine of the foothills, but different counties. Within that, we have 2 AVAs, 2 official appellations inside of Amador County. One is Fiddletown, where the DTR Ranch is.
Okay.
And one is Shenandoah Valley,
What?
which we don't have on anything here. The Zinfandel this just says Amador County because it's a mix of Fiddletown and Shenandoah.
Okay.
So, and then the rest of them usually just say Syrah Foothills.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, it's a same or better quality, I dare to say, than some Napa Valley, which is
Of
crowded
course,
and
of course.
too expensive just because it's a name.
Of course.
But we can get out of the big areas and go visit smaller family-owned wineries, like Jane said.
And it's one of the oldest grape growing regions in California.
See?
So when grapes were first planted in California, Zinfandel was planted late 1800s, 1860s. We have 2 of the oldest vineyards in the state in our area.
Mm-hmm.
One we work with and one we don't work with, but they're right neighbors to each other. 1865. So that was because the people that settled there after the gold rush were from France, they were from Italy, they were from Croatia, and they all have to drink their wine.
Awesome.
So
So a lot of history there.
yeah. So and there were a lot of wineries before Prohibition, and then when Prohibition came in, then all the wineries died. They kept the vineyards alive. They secretly are making wine and selling it to restaurants in San Francisco, home wine,
Yeah.
things like that. And then after Prohibition, all the money to develop wineries kind of went up the Napa way. That's how they got started kind of earlier, and it's taken the foothills longer to kind of maybe develop in terms of a larger wine country. So
Cool.
that's always been there.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well,
Well,
people discovering it. So yeah.
I personally rather have these wines, and so I'll be making a visit up there soon.
Great.
And if you have any other questions, please send them our way. I'll get a hold of Jane and send your questions or forward the questions.
Perfect.
But you can, I guess, go directly to your winery website
You can.
and ask all the questions you want about her wine.
TerroirsWines.com, and if you go to my recipe page, you can email me right there.
There you go. I'll put the address for winery after I finish recording this website. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
I appreciate
Thanks for
it.
tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. And I need to click end stream. There you go. Boom.